All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Roar on the Shore. The first main event is walking out right now. GNC2 class. Are you guys ready to hear the starting lineup? On the pole, ladies and gentlemen, our points leader. He can wrap up the championship tonight. He comes to us from Warren, Oregon. He's doing it for Parkinson Brothers Racing on the Kawasaki. Number 67M, Dashin Davis Fisher. Starting in the 2 spot from Albion, New York on the M&J Racing Fat Guys Racing Kawasaki. It's the 94B, Flying Ryan Wells. 3rd pick on the front row. He comes to us from Warrington, Pennsylvania on the Bill Warner Racing Kawasaki, number 54A, the tall drink of water, Dan Bromley. Starting 4th, currently 2nd in the point standings. He makes his home in Barrington, New Hampshire on the Miller Motorsports Roy Built Kawasaki 27U Jameson Minor. 5th pick on the front row from Gap, Pennsylvania, the Scott Power Sports KK Cycle Supply entry, number 99A, Kyle McGrain. Last bike on the front row from Canandaigua, New York, the KC Cycle Team 95 Kawasaki, number 36B, the Flying Tomato, Colby Carlisle. Now we go back to row number 2 from Moton, Pennsylvania, the Varnes Racing Roy Built Kawasaki 68A, Revin Ryan Varnes. 8th pick. 3rd pick on row number 2, the number 23F from St. Louisville, Ohio, Englehart Research and Technology Kawasaki, number 23F, Jeffrey Lowry. 9th pick from Chesterfield, Virginia, the Rod Ayers Motorsports Mr. Sign Kawasaki, number 16S, Tristan Avery. 10th pick from Salinas, California. First Harley Davidson to be talked about in this main event, the Kennedy Racing, Rod Lake Racing, Harley Davidson, the 11Z, Andrew Luker. The old man of the bunch starts 11th from Tarboro, North Carolina, the Big A Customs Roy Built Kawasaki, 68C, Robert Lewis. Last rider in the 2nd row in his first full season as a professional racer. He comes to us from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, the Roy Miller Roy Built Kawasaki, 29A, Colin Cunningham. And now we go back to row number 3 from Aurora, Indiana, the Mike Butler Racing King's Customs Kawasaki, 24J, Brandon Wilhelm. Starting 14th from the 3rd row, from Bangor, Pennsylvania, the Harvitt Racing Kawasaki, 22A, Mitch Harvitt. Our fast qualifier starts way back in the 15th spot from Salinas, California, Lombardi's Harley-Davidson entry, number 30Z, our fast qualifier, Bronson Bauman. Starting 16th in his first professional race, he comes to us from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, the Bear Racing Carroll Motor Fuel Kawasaki, 15A, Cameron Smith. Starting 17th from Bucyrus, Ohio, the Smith Racing J&F Construction Kawasaki, number 24F, J.R. Addison. And starting tail end of the field from Hawley, Michigan, on the Don Hodder Racing Low Life Performance Harley-Davidson, number 20J, Ben Lau. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting lineup for our first main event, the GNC2 main, 18 riders, 16 laps. Let's put our hands together for all 18 of these riders. Chris Carr, you ready for the first main event?
I'm ready. I'm very interested to see if we are going to crown a GNC2 champion here. With Davis Fisher on the pole, he's certainly in the catbird seat. A good start here. He can make him chase him, make him work for it.
All right, the lineup has been set. The field is set. They're going to fire up the engines. They will get 1 lap to check out the racetrack. I believe they call that a sliding lap. Steve Moorhead goes all the way back up to the front row. So we're keeping our eyes on the first rider out there. He's chosen the very inside 67M Davis Fisher. Our points leader can wrap up the championship. He has to finish ahead of the 27U Jameson Minor, the 54A Dan Bromley, to secure the championship. With 2 races left after tonight, he can wrap up the championship here. The number 1 plate's down there by the podium just in case that happens.
Well, you know, it's always great as a young rider have an opportunity to win your first professional championship. I'm sure there's a lot going on between those ears right now. I'm sure he's a little bit of nerves going. I'm sure he would love to wrap it up tonight and then go on to Calistoga and Las Vegas with no worries in the world.
So keep your eyes. They're going to get one lap to check it out. Fisher won his heat race. He starts from the inside. Also, Wells won his heat race. He starts from the second spot. These two guys are way down on the inside. Chris, does that surprise you?
Maybe a little bit. But you know what? You err on the side of caution. You know, if you've got a big point lead, why put yourself in a position where you can be in a position to move out on riders rather than be in a position where riders move out on you? Might not be a bad choice with a 51-point lead.
Absolutely. 3 Harley-Davidson out there. The 15 other bikes are all Kawasaki EX650s. Seems to be the bike of today now. Started out Bill Warner, a project bike, took a 650 Ninja, developed it into a flat track racer. Now most of our competitors in this class, in this main event, are on Kawasaki's with 3 Harleys out there to try to defeat them.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, you know, to see that the new generation of racers have grown up a lot on the 450cc base single cylinders. The Kawasaki's today are much more like a 450 growing up. If you look back 15, 20 years ago, the Rotax powered motorcycles that most of the riders grew up on are much more like an XR 750. I think the younger generation of riders are accommodating the Kawasaki much easier.
All right, here we go. They step out of the way. 10-second board's up. It's down. We are going racing the Roar on the Shore. Main event number 1, GNC2 class. Light is green. They are off, ladies and gentlemen. From the inside, the 54A, but the outside, Kyle McGrain, the 16-year-old rider, goes around the outside. But it's going to be Bromley to lead him off of 2. Here comes a charge from Jamison Miner up to second.
Good run by Miner, doing what he needs to do, trying to get himself up in front of the 67N. He needs to beat Davis Fisher to have an outside shot at the championship.
So does Bromley. Bromley's doing what he has to do. Also, Bromley to the lead. He leads lap number 1. McGrain in second as they go into turn number 1. It is Bromley, Miner, and here comes Miner looking up for second. So McGrain holds on to the second spot. I thought McGrain had it there for a second.
Yeah, it looked like he slipped a little wide. He got the thing turned, got it pointed back down on the bottom, but Dan Bromley, tall kid, he takes up a lot of racetrack with his long legs. He gets a good drive off the corner. Both riders up front in first and second are the tallest riders in the field. Getting off into the corner, they can take up a lot of racetrack on a narrow blue group. Whoa!
McGrain
gets wide and Fisher moves through. Fisher past Miner, past McGrain, and he marches down. He goes, hey, I want to go to the front. I want to wrap this thing up today.
Absolutely, but he slips a little bit wide down here, so that allows Bromley to slide away. Here comes Miner right there. All the 67 has to do is finish in front of those 2 guys. One's in front of him, one's behind him right now. He will secure the GNC2 championship right here at the Roar of the Shore, but he's looking for the win.
Getting a good drive off of turn 2. Davis Fisher up the inside as we see a little bit of puff of smoke coming from the 67M. I don't know if that was
really wide.
If that was tire smoke or if that was overheating smoke or what, but it appeared I caught a little glimpse of maybe a little bit of overheating going on there.
So it's Bromley out front. He's holding off a hard charging 67M Fisher. Miner's right there in the 3rd spot, and he's looking for a way around. Here comes flying Ryan Wells. He's coming to the front.
Ryan Wells looked good in his heat race. Oh, door is open. Fisher says, thank you very much. And, you know, we've seen this a lot with Davis Fisher all year long. He doesn't get the best starts. He gets in, he settles into the race, he moves to the front, he gets to the front, and he checks out. And here he is already with a 4-5 bike length lead coming off at turn 2.
5 laps are complete of our first main event. It is scheduled for 16 laps. It's your point leader out front. Bromley makes another mistake, the same mistake he made last time. This time he hangs onto the 2 spot. Miner's right there. Here comes a hard charge in Wells. He's looking for that 3rd spot on the 94B.
Well, Jamison Miner appears to show a little bit of speed. If he wants any chance to win the championship, he's going to need to get by Dan Bromley right now and march down that 67. But Davis Fisher running a 23.7 first lap out in the lead.
Timeout for just a second. Look who's up to the 5th spot now. Making the pass into 5th is the 30Z. Bronson Bauman from row number 3. The Harley is on the move, coming towards the front. Let's take a look at the replay of our pass for the lead. Here they come. Replay for the passenger lead. Bromley gets into turn number 3 a little bit wide, slips up right there. What happens, Chris?
He gets a little wide, doors open, and Davis Fisher goes, "Thank you very much." Bromley has no choice but to lift up and say, "All right, there you go. I'll try and get it back."
Back out front, 67M. Fisher is your leader. Bromley's in the 2 spot, but Fisher has checked out.
He has checked out. Look at that. Nearly a whole straightaway already.
Here comes Bronson Bauman on the 30Z. He's caught up to Wells, and he's actually made the pass by Minor. So Minor's slipping back a little bit. Bronson Bauman's the rider on the move. On the 30Z, he's up to the 4 spot now. Up
to 4th, running some good laps through traffic. You know, proving that the Harley, could be very well be a Harley racetrack. His performance might be a preview of the GNC1 main event. These guys are running the same spec motorcycles, just a little bit less experience. Bauman up the inside, coming off underneath Wells, coming off at turn 4. So let's see if he can make the pass by turn 1.
Fisher's all by himself now. Bronson Bauman takes over the 3rd spot. He opens the door. Here comes Minor, comes with them. So Wells was coming through the pack. He's back to the 5th spot. Leader has checked out. Here's the battle for 2nd. It is Bromley on the 54, 30Z. That is Bronson Bauman. That's the Charlotte winner. He's back there in 3rd. Behind him is Minor, the 27U. And also right there is Tristan Avery with 5 laps to go. We're picking him up and putting him down fast.
Yes, we are. Bauman sets up a little wide, tries to straighten out through the middle of the corner, see if there's a gap. Bromley riding very defensive now in the 2nd position, taking up as much of the blue groove as he can, not getting off him real hard, trying to reduce his mistakes. Puts that leg over the inside line, protecting the bottom, making these guys have to work and go around the outside of him. Pretty much plugging the hole right now.
Freight train from 2nd on back. It's Bromley, Bauman, Jamison Minor's there, Ryan Wells, 94B. Colby Carlisle's now is up there on the 36B. He started on the front row, got a bad start. He's worked his way back up towards the front. And Bromley looks like he's holding him up a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like Bromley has settled in. Oh, as Bauman makes a mistake, opens the door for Jamison Minor. Let's see if Minor can do anything with the 54A of Bromley. Somebody might have to force the issue. Minor goes in a little wide, opens the door back up for Bauman.
Comes back up the inside. So these guys are battling back and forth because they can't get around Bromley. You mentioned it earlier. He's a tall drink of water. When he lays it sideways, sticks his leg out there, he takes up a lot of real estate.
He certainly does. You know, at 6'4", when he leans the bike over into the corner and puts that leg out with 2 to go here, he holds up a lot of racetrack.
Now Wells is up to the 4 spot. Bauman shows the front wheel up there, touches Bromley. Here they come off of 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. A lap and a half to go in our first main event, and what a barn burner back here for 2nd on back. It's anybody's race behind our points leader and soon-to-be champion. If he can hang on for one more lap, white flag is out for the field. Here they come.
Bauman with a good run, goes by into turn 1.
Can he get it slowed down and stay on the groove?
Does a good job.
There's Fisher all by himself, a full straightaway lead. It took him a little while to get going, just like Chris said. He's a slow starter. He picks up the lead, and he picks up the win and the championship. Look at him standing up. He knows he's the champion. Double checkered flag in the air. Here they come for 2nd on back. Bronson Bauman takes 2nd. Bromley 3rd. What happened to Minor? Minor is way back in the field. Something happened to him on that last lap as the rest of the riders take the checkered flag. So we have a new champion with 2 races remaining on the schedule. The 67M, Davis Fisher, did what he had to do. He earned that title. Bronson Bauman puts himself up there on the podium. He won Charlotte, comes from row number 3 to a 2nd place finish. 3rd spot, Dan Bromley on the Bill Warner Racing Kawasaki. Gets 3rd, Ryan Wells 4th, Tristan Avery 5th, Colby Carlisle 6th, Jamison Minor, tough break for him, finishes way back there in the 7th spot. Jeffrey Lowry 8th, Colin Cunningham 9th, Brandon Wilhelm 10th, Revan Ryan Barnes 11th, Andrew Luker 12th, J.R. Addison 13th, Robert Lewis 14th, Kyle McGrain, Mitch Harvitt, Ben Lau, and Cameron Smith rounds out your field to 18 spots.
Grabbing the checkered flag for a victory lap with his team owner from Parkinson Brothers Racing, our GNC2 champion for 2015, Dashin Davis Fisher with a dominating performance. I believe this is his 4th win of the season. Fantastic job. This kid's the real deal. I look forward very much to seeing how he makes the transition to the GNC1 class in 2016.
But he doesn't have to move, but we're assuming he's going to move up to the Premier class. We will have to wait and see. But if he does, he'll have a national number, or if he sticks around and runs this class again, he'll be the #1 rider in the country.
This kid's ready to go up.
Yeah, I think so too. I believe you're right. This is his 4th win of the season. He won the Springfield Mile, he won the Rapid City Half Mile, and the Springfield Mile just the last race. So he's won twice at Springfield, and also.
And with his championship, he will also earn an invitation to participate in the Super Prestigio of the Americas Saturday night, November 21st in Las Vegas, the night following the AMA Pro finale on November 20th in Las Vegas. So congratulations to Davis. Great job. We see 3 generations of Fishers. We see Grandpa Fisher, Father Rex Fisher down there in the pits. His uncle Ryan Fisher, big-time racing family.
Rex and Ryan had national numbers.
Rex certainly
did. Rex
did.
was number 12.
And great job by Davis Fisher.
Let's go trackside for our victory podium celebration. We're going to crown a champion here tonight at the Roar on the Shore. Danny?
All right, thank you. Delaware, make some noise for Davis Fisher. 2015 AMA Pro Grand National Champion, the GNC2 class. What are you thinking right now?
I don't know what to think. After a rebound from last year, losing by 1 point to Kyle Johnson, to now being on top 2 races before the season finale is quite amazing.
When you saw that 5 laps to go, what was going through your head?
It was one of the longest 5 laps I've ever had. Anything can happen.
Davis, you have a great team behind you. You guys have worked so hard this season. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I think Parkson Brothers Racing, Bob Lanfears, Beaverton Honda, Danwell Racing, the Fox, Team 95 for them giving me this bike to ride, Victory Circle Graphics for making it look good, my dad for all that he does, Allied Motors, my Uncle Ryan, That Girl, Saddleman Seats, Evans Coolant, Arai Helmets, and all the fans for coming out.
Awesome. You guys make some noise one more time, and I am going to bring up Joe Bromley here from the American Motorcycle Association, and I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you, Danny. If I can squeeze through here. Well, Davis Fisher and the whole Parkinson Brothers team, I'd like to congratulate you on behalf of the American Motorcycles Association for clinching the GNC #2 plate, or GNC2 #1 plate here at Delaware, and I want to congratulate your team for taking the championship. So congratulations on behalf of the American Motorcycle Association. How about it, crowd? Give them a very big round of applause. They did a great job this year. I believe they were on the podium, I believe, about 10 or 12 times here this year. Knock off 4 wins here, I believe, so far, and been on the podium. Great job, and like I say, on behalf of the American Motorcycle Association, congratulate Davis and the whole Parkinson Brothers team for taking the GNC2 #1 plate here in 2015. Back to you, Danny.
All right, thanks, Joe. We're going to step on over here to second place, Bronson Bauman. What a ride out there. Are you pretty happy with second place?
Yeah, second ain't bad. Really, from the 3rd row, the entire team really worked their hearts out on getting the bike set up, and finally got that shifting problem taken care of. So got a good start, and I was actually able to use my brakes for the majority of the race. So that's really awesome.
And you have a great team behind you. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, definitely. Lombardi's Harley Davidson, Carl Patrick, R&D Machine, RGR, Rod Lake, Gene and Gail Cummings, Motion Pro. Hold on, let me read some more. Hatzler's Heart Racing, Arai Helmets, Fly. Everyone back home. Sorry for all the stuttering. But everyone back home, and hopefully we can pull off a couple more podiums the rest of the year and get second place.
Delaware, give it up one more time for Bronson Bauman on taking second place. We're going to make our way over to Dan Bromley. Dan, that was not an easy race to even have to battle to get up here. What were you thinking out there?
Oh, I was thinking about having fun. This race is pretty much a hometown race, being only 2.5 hours. But just came out here, had fun. I knew Johnny and Bill kept getting on me, get a start. And I knew if I did that, I'd have a good race. I ended up doing that. Led a couple laps, kind of sucks, when you let it go. But Davis rode a great race, a great year. He's got a great team behind him, and I can't congratulate him enough. Last couple laps was fun with Bronson. I messed up a little bit, losing brakes and shifting, but he rode a great race too. And to be up here with all these riders and across the country is a great feeling.
Let's talk about that team behind you.
All behind me, I can't thank Bill Warner enough. He supplies me with the most beautiful bikes, I think, in the pits. They run great and they feel good with me. with him, there's Johnny. He's always his right-hand man. Mike Sponseller, Steve Dance, all the other people behind him, Triple J Racing, who not only helped me, but helped support me get to the races. Throwdown Speedco for coming out here. It's a local race for them. And all the sponsors behind Bill and me and my father for taking me all these races.
Congratulations on third place. Delaware, make some noise one more time for our GNC2 podium.
Chris, what was it like to hold up your first championship? He just won his first championship. He earned it. He won the main.
Well, for me, I think back to 1984, back when they had the Junior National Championship Dirt Track Series, and the GNC2 class is essentially an extension of that. And I know at the age of 17, to be able to win your first professional deal, it makes you think, you know what, I'm almost there. I'm on my way. And it's got to be a great feeling for Davis Fisher. I know it was when I was 17 years old. I do know what he feels like, and you can tell by the grin on his face, that's one happy kid right there.
He had one heck of a season, finishing up with 4 wins. We still have 2 races to go, Calistoga and the flat track finals in Las Vegas, November the 20th. You can check it out. If you can't make it out there, go to fanschoice.tv. So that's going to wrap up our victory podium for the GNC2 class.